So that was the WRC Generations Announcement trailer. Let's have a look and see what bits of information we can glean from the announcement trailer, and let's have a little chat about it. First and foremost, you've got the new spec Rally 1 WRC cars. There's new cars for this season of the WRC. Looking at the Rally 1 class, the Toyota GR Yaris, pretty much the same as before. In addition to that, the Honda i20 Rally 1. But this year, we're going to have the Ford Puma Rally 1. Unfortunately, however, they didn't show a render or model of the new spec cars. They kept showing last year's cars, including a new livery update for some of the what was known as R5 but Rally 2 cars, in particular the Citroen C3 and the Skoda Fabia. I understand that with limited time frame for development, it's a yearly release this game, and they're doing an esports series in the background as well. From quite a small team, it's a lot of work for them to do. However, not even showing a new render or model of the new Rally 1 hybrid cars is a bit disappointing. I am looking forward to seeing, however, the new hybrid system and how that is going to be implemented in the game. 100 kilowatts at the touch of a button should be a nice addition to the esports aliens, as it were, to try and get the faster stage times and adding a different layer of complexity to just gunning it around the rally stages. We've seen as well there's going to be a refresh of the Swedish stages. They went to a new area of the WRC season this year, to the Umeå. Apologies for my mispronunciation of that. So the tracks are getting updated, and it's going to look a lot more narrow. Now, we know from WRC's previous iterations their stages are their best asset. So I'm really looking forward to having new challenges and new stage designs. I think it takes us up now to about 160, 170 stages now available in the WRC game, which will be fantastic. And I would be good to see the former stages from the anniversary mode still being retained, such as Rally Japan, Rally New Zealand, Croatia, etc., etc. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. What I did see, though, from the brief glimpses in the stage design is that a lot more work needs to be done on the foliage, the trees surrounding the stages themselves, and hopefully they can refine the great work and the great stage design that they've done in previous games in this final one. We must remember this is their last WRC licensed game before it goes over to EA. So I really hope they can give it a really good swan song, as it were, and give us a fantastic final game for us to enjoy. Looking further afield, you have the career mode. The previous iterations gave us the create your own team. Hopefully the improvements they said they have made hopefully gives a little inkling of perhaps a story mode. I did see the back of a driver in the Ford M Sport sort of livery. Maybe they're going to adopt more from the Formula 1 games and have a character or role that you can play to really get you through that journey from Junior WRC 3, 2 and 1. The building blocks were there in the previous WRC 10 game with the skill tree, create your own team, manage your own team, etc. Let's see if they go a little bit more and focus on the gamified aspects of it. I'll be really interested to see whether that comes through. We'll see when the game comes out in October of this year. They have said there's going to be a new league mode and an online teams mode, something from previous game. Hopefully they can improve the club aspect. That was a big disappointment. We were all excited about them bringing clubs, but it wasn't well implemented when you can only join 4 clubs at a time. And even then it only run on certain occasions. It can be a bit demoralizing. Hopefully they'll lean into that heavily, because this could be, if I hope it won't be the case, but I am under the impression that with there being a monopoly on rally games, who's going to oppose EA if they decide to go down a fully arcade route? So I really hope WRC 10 work really hard on the multiplayer aspect, and hopefully increase the numbers of regular players, just like Dirt Rally 2 is currently doing. We do know, however, this game is coming out on PlayStation and Xbox at launch, although no specified date for the PC version. You do see in the announcement trailer that they have Steam and Epic Game Store. Hopefully they won't make this, they won't limit the platforms that you can buy this game from. It has got a Nintendo Switch version, but we know that will probably come later, considering that the previous iteration, WRC 10 on the Nintendo Switch, was only released 3 months, 2-3 months ago, or whatever it was. But hopefully they won't limit it. You can get it on Steam or Epic Game Store, whichever tickles your fancy. Finally, for me, this is the last game of the WRC Kiloton Nakon era. They've had 7 generations, and every game that they have released have made really steady, small but steady improvements. Looking back at WRC 5 to the WRC Generations, they've always improved, and I hope that they've really lent into that and made this a proper swan song for them and showcased their great skill they have at creating a rally game. I do hope in the future that they won't forget about rallying. I know they've got Test Drive Unlimited coming out later on, and that's going to be their big money maker. But with EA having a monopoly on rally games, pretty much, of pure rally games, I should say, I really hope Kiloton takes everything they've learned from the WRC franchise over the last 6 or 7 iterations, heavily lean into it and give us a rally game that isn't limited by the WRC license. They've had really good force feedback. The stage design has been incredible. Let's hope they can improve on that. I did notice as well during the announcement trailer, while it's on top of my head, that the cars do sound better. Hopefully they have improved the sound from the last game and from previous games in particular, but they do sound just a little bit better, and hopefully they will lean into that a lot more and could create a more well-rounded product for us. Anyway, not much to glean from this announcement trailer. I'm really looking forward to the game when it is released, which I think is October 13th. The game is coming out of this year. I'm very excited for it. I hope you guys are looking forward to it as well. I am really enjoying WRC 10, but there's definite refinements that can be made to make this the all-seeing dancing game, all-dancing platform that we know it can be. Anyway, thanks very much for watching and listening. If you did enjoy this, click like, comment, and think about subscribing. If you're pretty bored of WRC 10 at the moment, I have got 2 other recommendations you can watch as well. Over here, you've got Sebastian Loeb Rally Evo. Does it stand up to the test of time in 2022? And one of the Richard Burns Rallies mod, one that you probably haven't heard of before.